I have a new hairstyle which I would probably wear until the end of the world, knowing how much I paid for this hair. When you start your visa application, it's obligatory to have a proof of accommodation in France, even if you're not here yet. I will be sharing with you how to find accommodation when you're not already here, how to get a guarantor for free. Hey, subscribe! Hello, human. It's always great to have you here. I hope you're doing great. I am doing great as well. I'm outside, it's sunny, and the lighting could fluctuate because the sun comes and it goes. You can hear the birds chirping. I'm grateful for life. And I have a new hairstyle which I would probably wear until the end of the world, knowing how much I paid for this hair. But that's not why we are here today. When you start your visa application for coming to France, usually, or it's obligatory to have a proof of accommodation in France, even if you're not here yet. So I will be sharing with you how to find accommodation when you're not already here, how to get a guarantor for free. First of all, I would tell you that there are different types of housing in France, right? So we have a T1, which is like a studio, like what we Nigerians call a self-contained room. That's just one room that has everything, like the toilet and the kitchen, and then there is your bed, right? And then we have like T2, T3. I'm talking about all of this so you don't get confused when you're searching online, especially if the websites are in French, right? So T2 is like a room and a sitting room, like a parlor, as we Nigerians would call it. And then you have T3, that is a parlor and 2 rooms, and you know, the list goes on. So when searching for accommodation, I would recommend that first, when you get your admission letter, usually when you receive it, it should come in a mail, of course, and then there would be like the signature of the person that sent it to you. It would have the name of either the admission officer or the international coordinator or something like that. So usually I would advise that you send an email to this person asking them how you should go about your accommodation. There are some universities that would already tell you, oh, this is how you have to go about your accommodation. For my university, I didn't even have to search for accommodation because they would already do the whole process with CROUS. I would get to that later. CROUS they would make a reservation for a room with CROUS and then send you an accommodation certificate. So I used this accommodation certificate for my visa application. So if that is the case for you, then you don't have to worry about searching for accommodation. So, but if it's not the case with your university, then sending a mail to them asking them how do you go about your accommodation. If they have any options, they will tell you, or if they can help you apply to CROUS or reserve a room for you in CROUS, they would do that easily for you and send you the accommodation certificate. If not, they would give you other options, and if there are no other options, then you would have to search or reserve a room with CROUS. And I think it's the best way to, you know, get an accommodation certificate, because one, CROUS is usually cheaper, and you know, it's safer. You know that even if CROUS asks you to pay a deposit before coming to France, you know that your money is safe. Usually, I don't really think they would ask for a deposit before you get here, but if they do, you know that your money is safe, you know. How then do you search for a room in CROUS? So, for example, you've gotten your admission, and all of the options that I talked about, like seeing about your accommodation search with your university, are not available to you. Then how do you search for CROUS by yourself? Okay, so first things first, you have to create an account on the Service website. That is like the number one thing. It is very, very important for you, because usually you can go directly to search for rooms in the CROUS website, But you would even see it on the website that some search results will not be shown to you if you've not logged in, basically. And then that would then require you to create your mail service account, and then when you create your mail service account, you're now able to see all the search results for every location that you're searching for. So you create your mail service account. As usual, every important link would be in the description box. So my service account is pretty straightforward. You just input all your information, but the people usually get confused at the part where it asks for something called the INA number. So basically, when you just got your admission, like when you just get your admission to a French university, you don't have an INA number yet. So you click on the option, I do not have an INA number. So you do that, and then you continue, and then you once your account is created, usually you would get an automatic you would be automatically assigned an INA number, which you would then later on need to change or not. I don't know, that would be something for later. So when you have your mail service account, you then go to the CROUS website. It's called Trouver Logement, lescrous.fr, I think. Links would be in the description box as usual. So you go to this website, you're able to filter your location. Let's say your university is in Lille or Paris or Rennes or Lyon, Dijon, wherever it is. You place the location, and then when you filter by location, and then you filter by price, filter by how many meter square room you want, because they are usually different meter squares. There are 9 meter squares, 24, 18, depends on what you want. But then of course, like the bigger the room, the higher the price. And then there's the option for traditional and comfort. I would advise to go for comfort because it's worth it. Usually traditional would be, I think, cheaper, but I honestly feel you should go for comfort because you don't want to be sharing your toilet with a bunch of people that you do not know. Honestly, comfort is better. You have your toilet in your room. Like, it's, even if you go for 9 meter square, it's perfect for you. You have a tiny bed, everything is tiny, but it's yours. Like, you're able to wash your toilet and use it the way you want and not have anybody mess it up for you. I think for me, I really, any day, anytime, I would go for comfort. CROUS, if I have to live in CROUS, I'll go for comfort. I wouldn't go for traditional. It's not worth it. So you apply the filters and then you search. So usually if there are rooms available, you would see like all the search results, and then you're able to see pictures of each room and able to decide if it's something you want or if it's something you don't want. And then you're able to choose it and then continue with the application, filling your information and all of that. And then usually there would be documents that would be required for you to upload. And one of the documents would be the VISALE. The VISALE is like is a guarantor. So for every time you need accommodation in France, especially if you're an international student, you would need a guarantor. A guarantor is basically someone that would assure the person that is leasing their house to you that you would pay your rent, and even if you're unable to do that, they would be able to do that for you. So people usually, like students usually would use VISALE because it's like readily available. The lighting in the video is changing because the sun is coming and going. Oh yeah, this is pure darkness. Wow, wow, wow. I still use my phone, so if you want to buy me a camera, it's a free world. Don't let the devil stop you from doing what you want. Okay, believe in yourself. I believe in you too. Text me and I will send you my location. Yeah, so moving on. The guarantor, students would usually use VISALE because it's free, it's easier. Instead of having to, it's either that or you have to look for someone that has the French nationality that works in France, that would be able to vouch for you and share their, their bank statement saying that, oh, if this person is unable to pay their rent, I have enough money to be able to foot the bill. So I feel like that's like a very stressful thing to do, especially when you're still in your country and you're trying to just get an accommodation certificate for your visa application. So I mean, if you have someone that is French and you feel it's easier for you, could go about that route. Anything that works for you, actually. But for those of you that do not have that, VISALE is usually easier. So you go to VISALE, the website, link would be in the description box. You fill out the information. It can be very tricky and confusing because of French. But you know, if I could get through it when I didn't know how to speak French, I think you would be able to get through it as well. Of course, like, if you have any questions, you can text me on Instagram. You fill the VISALE, and then usually they would ask for some documents like your passport and maybe your admission letter, proof of the fact that you got admission to study in France and all of that. You upload it, and then I think it takes about 24 hours. If they are okay with the document, sometimes they could send you an email telling you that, oh, these documents, it's not leasable, like it's not clear enough, and you have to re-upload, or you have to add something else or something like that. So, and then if you're having a problem with like the translation, or if there are things that you do not understand at all in the website, I would suggest you go to VLLO, link in the description box, a translation tool, which I find really helpful, way more helpful than Google Translate, because it's able to give you a direct translation and you know, make you understand what exactly is being asked of you. So you can copy the line from the website, paste it on VLLO, and understand what exactly they're asking you for. So then when the documents are okay by VISALE, they would send you an email telling you that your VISALE is available, and then you can download it and upload it to the CROUS website. So sometimes, for me, I'm just going to say I did my visa when I reached here in France. So if you can do it, do it. But if you feel like you want to do all that when you get here, then that's fine. If you're able to get your accommodation certificate without having to do your visa first, then you go for that. So yeah, so then, you know, a summary for the CROUS is my service account. Go to the CROUS website, search for logement, search for a house or a room, and filter by location, by whatever it is you need, and then you reserve, fill out the application, and upload the documents. And for your guarantor, you use VISALE because it's free and it's easier for you. You upload all the required documents, and then you have your visa, and then you can be able to get your accommodation certificate from CROUS, and then you're able to submit that for your visa application. Other than this, there are definitely like a ton of other ways that you can look for accommodation, especially if you feel like you have enough money and you don't want to live in the CROUS because you are bigger than that. There are options for you, my dear. Don't worry. The options, if you want to live in a proper house, you don't want to live with students, even though you're a student yourself, but you feel like that's just not your cup of tea, that's also fine. There's stood apart. Stood apart can also help you with Guarantor, I think. There's stood apart, there is Locavis, there is Les Bon Coin. But then with these websites, especially Les Bon Coin, I would warn you, be very careful. Do not pay any deposit until you are here, because I almost got scammed, but that's a story for another day. You're able to search for houses or rooms, and of course, like I forgot to tell you, you can live or share a house with like people. You can look for a nice looking house, like really beautiful house, and then share it with people. Share the cost of living and all of that. So that is also available to you. But yeah, like I was saying, for these other websites, it's possible for you to see a house that actually doesn't exist, and you know, text the person like, oh, I'm interested in this house, what's the rent, and then they could tell you, oh yeah, oh, but then there are so many students that want this house, so you just have to pay your deposit to hold it down, So Badanya, put your eye on the ground when you are doing all these things. You should know that because it don't tinala. Badanya, open your eyes, shine your eyes before they chop your monies. So yeah, be very, very careful about that. I think that is about it. I feel like there are many more things I'm forgetting, even though I made a list. Yeah, I think I've talked about everything I needed to talk about. I planned on talking about for this video. But of course, like when uploading, if there are more things that I remember, I would add it to the description box, so make sure you look at it. And I'm going to make 2 or 3 more videos, you know, wearing this same outfit and this same background, because I don't know the next time I would have time to sit down to make videos, so I will upload it weekly or bi-weekly. By the way, thank you very much for, I don't know, a whole, I think the last time I uploaded a video I had about 517 subscribers, and now I have like 680. That is mind-blowing. Thank you. I'm very grateful. I'm very, very grateful to everybody watching and subscribing and commenting and everyone texting, having questions. I really, really appreciate you reaching out and telling me, oh, your videos are helpful. I really, really, really appreciate, and thank you. I hope you have a beautiful week ahead, and see you next time.